Hello, welcome to English at the Edge. My name is Irene and I'm specialized in British English and culture. We all know that understanding a language would open the gate to its people and culture. But have you ever considered the other way around? That having an interest in the people and their culture would facilitate your language learning. When you know more about the people you're talking to, you'll have a greater chance of saying the right words at the right time. To me, learning about culture is essential to learning a language. It's the reason why in today's video I'm going to invite you to explore some aspects of the British English and really get to understand how those milky tea drinkers communicate. Let's go! First, let's start with something very simple that we think we all know. How are you? It's a little simple question, yet many foreigners get the answer wrong. When a British asks you, how are you? The only answer they expect from you is, fine thanks and you. Side note, must be spoken as one word. According to Adam Fletcher, the author of Understanding the British, a hilarious guide from apologizing to Wimbledon, Mr. Fletcher wrote something like this. It doesn't matter who asks. It doesn't matter if you've been run over by a monster truck, are bleeding out on the pavement, and can feel the cold, bony finger of the Ripper upon your shoulder. When the paramedic comes and asks you how you are, and she will ask, you answer, fine thanks and you. So now you know, next time when you're asked, how are you, don't waste your time constructing a lengthy and complex answer to show off your English. Just fine thanks and you. Second, social softeners. What is this? Well, those are not the softeners that you are thinking about. But they work just like those fabric softeners, creating that light, fluffy and cuddly sense in the British interaction. So, if you don't want to be labelled as another rude foreigner in the eyes of the British, then please add in those following phrases. Well, I'm exaggerating a little bit here, but what I mean is that most British people would really appreciate if they hear those softeners from you. If it's no inconvenience, sorry, but... I'm sorry to be a bother. I don't want to be a nuisance, but I was wondering if it might be in any way possible to... Now let's have some examples. Don't say, can you close the door? Well, that's extremely rude. Instead saying, if it's no inconvenience, can you please close the door? Or at least say, sorry, but can you please close the door? Don't say, can you check my homework? Well, they would help you, probably, but they'd rather not seeing you again, I'm afraid. So instead saying, sorry, I don't want to be a nuisance, but if it's no inconvenience for you, can you please have a look at my homework? Now you're good to go. Recently, I came across a real story from a famous British podcast. The podcaster was reading an email from one of his long-time listeners. In the email, the listener was asking him a question, and he started his question with, I apologize in advance for asking you questions in the first communication. Only if you think it is something you might want to bring up in one of your podcast episodes, please read it through. Otherwise, you can just disregard this email. Without a doubt, the British podcaster was very pleased and impressed with this email. So if it's no inconvenience, and well, I'm sorry to ask, and it's no problem if you can't, but could you please consider adding those social softener when you talk to the British, just to let them know that us Vietnamese can also be polite, when necessary? Thanks.